I still remember myself a long time ago when I used to go out a lot on dates and read and search about women. I was living with a dilemma. I could never meet a girl who had all the qualities I wanted, and of course society wasn't helping, especially when terms like red flags, green flags, and soulmates began to spread. I always asked myself a question: who is that woman that when I meet her, I will truly want to be with in a serious relationship? I still remember one day when I picked up a piece of paper and a pen and wrote down all the red flags that I didn't like and the green flags I wanted, and then I started searching for a girl who matched them. Do you know what happened? I didn't find her. And if you do the same as I did, do you know what will happen to you? You won't find her either. Anyone who gives you a list of red flags and tells you to run away from them, there are two possibilities. Either he has no idea how dating actually works, or he lives in another dimension with entirely different rules. Here, I'm not telling you that red flags don't exist. Yes, there are red flags, and I will mention them to you in this video, but those traditional red flags like she shouldn't have male friends are just nonsense. Let me give you an example about the idea of she shouldn't have male friends, because this is one of the most common red flags I hear mentioned. Now, imagine a girl who doesn't have male friends. What does that mean? It means she doesn't talk to men, doesn't interact with guys. If she doesn't talk to men, then how will she even talk to you in the first place for her to become your girlfriend? It is impossible to find a girl who has everything you want. Just forget about this idea entirely. But still, it is your right to have your own preferences. To keep it short, let me tell you what the correct strategy is for dealing with red flags and with women. You see this girl, if you like her appearance, you start talking to her. And if you find in her some of the traits I will tell you about in this video, that means you need to run away as soon as possible. If she doesn't have these traits, then you start dating her. And if there's something you don't like about her, such as talking too much with men or wearing clothes that you don't approve of, the solution is not to leave her and walk away, but to change her. When a girl enters into a relationship, she should gradually change her personality, thoughts, and behavior to align with you and with what you want. It is essential for a woman to change herself over time until she falls in love with you. And this is exactly what I will explain in today's video: how to tame a woman. Listen to me carefully, because after watching this video, anything related to red flags or any questions you have in your mind, I will provide you with the answer. I'll explain it simply, and all you need to do is focus with me and you'll understand everything. As human beings, in our relationships, there is always a leader and a follower. You and your friend, if you decide to go out, usually one of you will choose where to go and the other will follow. In your relationship with a woman, it's the same thing. Someone will be the leader and the other will follow. And I don't think I need to tell you that you are the one who should be the leader in your relationship with a woman. Now, how is this related to our topic? It's all about the fact that you need to be the leader. You must be in control of that girl. The girl must wear what you want, follow the principles you live by, and like what you like. But listen to me carefully. You should never force her, you should never control her, and you should never manipulate her. You must do this in such a way that she wants to do what pleases you and makes you happy out of her own will. How will you do that? Through 3 steps, I will summarize it for you in one sentence. You tell her what you want, but you don't force it on her. At the same time, you should not need her to do what you want. This sentence contains 3 main ideas. First, how to tell her. Second, how not to force it on her. And third, how not to show your need for her. Let's take a personal example. For me, I don't like a girl who reveals too much skin through her clothing. This is something I personally dislike, but it doesn't mean you have to be like me. By the way, this is just an example of something I don't like. You might not have any problem with it. Tastes differ, and so do cultures. Never take other people's opinions and apply them to yourself. This applies to all of life. Opinions change, and differences will always exist. Anyway, let's stick with our example. Imagine you don't like a girl who reveals part of her skin. How will you tell her that? The most important rule you need to remember is you don't tell her this opinion until she asks you, meaning you don't say it on the first day you meet her like, I don't like a girl who reveals part of her skin. Wait until she asks you, and be sure that sooner or later she will ask you. A day will come when she'll say, what style of clothing do you like? Or what do you prefer a girl to wear? When she asks you, or when you both discuss this topic, that's when you should tell her. Sometimes, and often, she will try to change your opinion if she does something you said you don't like. She will attempt to change your mind and give you logical reasons. Here, I want you to remember 2 important things. Do not justify yourself or try to convince her. In other words, don't stand up and start giving her arguments to justify your opinion. Just tell her and step back. You simply say that this is your taste, nothing more. Leave it at that. Do not engage in a a debate with her. At the same time, do not change your opinion no matter what happens. Look, my brother, the girl will pressure you to change your mind. Be certain that this will happen. The moment you start talking to a girl and going out with her on dates, she will begin to pressure you to change some of your opinions. What I want from you is not to think and say, if I change my opinion, she will start loving me. This is a trap. Never change your opinion. If you told her, I don't like girls who reveal part of their skin, this is your opinion and it should remain that way. From here, we move on to the second step, which is don't force it on her. This means that when you tell her you don't like girls who reveal part of their skin, don't say it as if it's a major issue for you, that you can't handle it, or that it makes you jealous. Say it in a cold and indifferent manner. In other words, don't tell her, if you don't change your style of dressing, we won't be able to stay together. Say it as if you are only sharing what you like and nothing more. As for the third step, do not show her your need or attachment, meaning do not show her that you need her to do this thing so that you can feel comfortable. In other words, you want her to cover her skin, but you don't need her to do so. How do you do that? Imagine that you told her your opinion, and when you met her again, she showed up wearing clothes that reveal part of her skin, meaning she didn't change. What you need to do here is not talk about it. Don't mention it at all, as if nothing happened. Do not give it any attention. By doing this, she will start asking herself, why didn't he say anything? Does he not really want me to change my style of dressing? When you stop bringing it up, you show her that you don't need that change to happen. With this strategy, be certain that sooner or later, the girl will do what you want and she will change herself. This strategy can be applied to anything. For example, if you don't like the fact that a girl has male friends, you tell her that and then leave it alone. Over time, as her attachment to you grows, especially if you follow everything in the How to Attract Women series, she will begin to change naturally. She will start to love what you love and do what you want. Before I tell you about the red flags that you should run away from, I ask you to remember this very important rule. Never change your thoughts or change yourself because of the girl you're with. Because the moment you do this, from the girl's perspective, you lose your leadership position. She will say to herself, if he changed his opinion about this, he can also change his opinion about anything else. As a result, she will never change herself for you. In addition, she will lose her attraction to you altogether. But let me now talk to you about the red flags that you need to run away from. These red flags are traits that a girl cannot change, and at the same time, you will only suffer as a man if you're with her. First, if she flirts with other men around you, beware. This girl either wants to make you feel jealous or is simply seeking attention. You can see this type of girl everywhere. They tend to wear eye-catching clothes with loud makeup and enjoy having men stare at them. If you find yourself stuck with a girl like this, it's better to look for someone else because your life with her will be full of drama. She will not give up her habit of flirting with men in your presence, and you will struggle to deal with it as it will only become more frequent over time. However, there is one thing you should never do. Show her that you are jealous. The moment she notices that you're jealous, you lose the battle, and she wins because her main goal was to make you feel jealous. Second, if she is still attached to her ex, if a girl tells you that she still thinks about her ex a lot and hasn't gotten over him yet, you should step back immediately. This girl is carrying heavy emotional baggage from her past and has not yet been able to deal with it. In this case, you should have a friendly conversation with her and suggest that she give her ex another chance to see what happens. A low-value man would likely get jealous and act angrily, but you are a high-value man and you know how to act better. So when you offer her a choice, you also show your willingness to walk away without hesitation. At this point, she'll begin to think more clearly and make the right decision. However, if she decides to give her ex another chance, you've saved yourself from a potential drama queen, because girls who have not gotten over their past relationships will always bring up their ex every now and then, which will negatively affect your current relationship. Every day could turn into a major struggle. Therefore, it's better to let her make up her mind on her own. Third, energy-sucking women. This is the most dangerous red flag, so please listen carefully. Never hesitate to walk away from a bad relationship. If you find yourself stuck with a woman full of problems, the sooner you leave, the better it will be for your emotional health. I also call these women energy-sucking. It is extremely important to filter out this type of woman, not based on her looks, but on her personality. There are women who feel extremely insecure about themselves, even if they are very beautiful. These women constantly seek validation from you to feel good about themselves, but the main issue is that they never feel validated, no matter how much attention or appreciation you give them. These women have an endless emotional hunger to satisfy their needs that are impossible to fulfill. This is where it gets scary. They might even use sex as a tool to satisfy those emotional needs. A common example of this is women who are already in relationships yet still go out and sleep with other men. They do this because of the emotional hunger I mentioned earlier, which can never be satisfied. No matter how many men they date, they will never feel content. These women often suffer from low self-esteem, which is why they offer easy sex to any man in exchange for his admiration of her beauty. She will sleep with any man just as a way to boost her self-esteem. In most cases, these women are drama queens with a strange ability to turn perfect situations into complete chaos. They also sometimes resort to manipulation simply because they feel unworthy or undeserving of all the good that life has to offer. This is why you must pay close attention to a woman's personality and get to know her deeply before even thinking about getting into a relationship with her. And finally, I will answer a question I saw in one of the comments. The girl I go out with talks about other men in front of me. This isn't necessarily a red flag, but it's a good question and relates to the topic of our video. Why do women talk about other men when they are interested in you? This is a very common question that confuses most men. There are only two reasons why a woman would mention another man in front of you. One, she is trying to tell you that she is desired and liked by other men. Two, she does not want you as a lover, but sees you as just a friend. Consider this scenario. A girl you recently got to know calls you on the phone and suddenly starts talking about another guy she met at the bar. She says something like, "Do you know what happened today? A guy came up to me, asked me out and told me I'm the prettiest girl he's ever seen." Most men get jealous and react negatively, but as you can see, this is not a bad sign. If she is telling you all these things, she simply wants you to know that she is desired by other men and is well liked. She is just trying to impress you. That's all there is to it, nothing more. All she wants is for you to ask her out, but she doesn't want to be direct about it, which is why she tells you these things. Now, consider this scenario. She tells you about a guy who recently broke up with her, how much she loved him, how she still can't get over him, and how she's looking for ways to bring him back into her life. This is the kind of girl you need to walk away from immediately because she's trying to dump her emotions on you. This is a classic sign of a woman trying to put you in the friend zone. This also means she is genuinely interested in the other guy, and she's not the right girl for you because she is carrying heavy emotional baggage from her past. Walk away from her and let her deal with this on her own. And here, I believe I've covered everything related to red flags. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments so I can know the topics you'd like me to discuss in upcoming videos. This was The Dark Needle, and I'll see you in the next video.